Welcome, guys, to the Meet Damien live stream. Congratulations to the longs and the bulls out there. You guys are getting a lot of green today in cryptocurrency. Let's look at the crypto bubbles real quick here. Green across the board, except for a few here. We got like Zcash down 7%. I am actually looking to long Zcash. I actually went into a long this afternoon here on Zcash, and then CCC's in the red, and Manton. There's a few of them that are not participating in this rally, probably because they've already had their run up. We already know Zcash had a run up earlier this week and last week, so I think Zcash is taking a breather while the rest of these cryptocurrencies are trying to catch up to what Zcash was doing last week. Okay, but we can see like right now that Pepe is a star athlete for today. Up 24.6% today, and then we got Pudgy Penguins up 14.9%, Aerodrome Finance up 16%, Pump.Fun. I actually did a YouTube short that got like 1,100 views. It looks like people are interested in Pump.Fun right now. So that one's up 7%, and I was talking about how could possibly get above its 21 EMA, and it already did that. So that's good to see. Floki up 11.7%, and the list goes on. A lot of meme coins have been doing pretty well because they've gotten beaten up so badly over the last few weeks, few months here. But let's get right into it here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently trading at $89,750, and it got up as high as $90,900. I was saying last night and yesterday's live stream that I could see Bitcoin going to 90K. Based on what I saw in the charts here. That's why I like looking at the charts and looking at the indicators here. And a lot of the momentum indicators were showing that Bitcoin was going to continue going up to 90K when we were looking at it at 88K yesterday. So I'm glad I was able to read that right here. But I'm sure there's other technical analysts out there that were looking at the same thing as I was on the charts and getting a little bit more positive and bullish here on crypto. I think we're going to get a relief rally here for crypto. We had somewhat of a relief rally here in December where Bitcoin got to like 94,600 and stopped the bleeding after it went down to 80K. We all know that. But I think if we continue this momentum to the upside, we will see 91K, 94, or even 95K. And then I think it gets a little bit tough after we get past like 95K here. If we ever do get past 95K, we haven't actually gone up to 95K. December we went to like 94,600 here on Coinbase, but we never actually went to 95K. But I'm just zooming out here to show you guys the resistance above us with the VRVP indicator here. And the resistance, as we all know, is currently at 91K. However, there's some more resistance here at 95K. But then after 95K, if we can get past 95, 96K here, we got a gap in the VRVP, and then there's not much resistance until we get to 101, 102K. And then there's some more resistance at 103, 104K based off the VRVP indicator, which is why I like using it, because it gives me the levels to look out for. Okay, if for some reason this relief rally was to fail on us, we do have support here with the POC at 87K. Seems to be a good area to buy some Bitcoin at. Then we got a little bit more at 86,800. Seems to be an area where we can't go below for too long before the long starts showing up here. And then below that, we do have some support here at 84,500. So the bulls have some support to protect themselves from dropping like a rock at this moment. But as we continue pushing up forward, I will be looking for shorts, especially if Bitcoin gets up to 91,400. I'll throw in like a small head short against my longs here just to see if, if it catches. And then, if we come down to like 84, 86K, I'll be happy that I shorted at 91K. So that's the next area that I'm looking for, where I would be interested in shorting Bitcoin if I was inclined to do so. Okay. But I think if we continue on past 91K and past, 92K, then yeah, 94, 95 definitely comes up, obviously, right? It's like the next few numbers up. All right, let me see. We got a few people showing up in the chat here. We got Kevin Hawthorne saying good afternoon. Thank you, Kevin, for coming in. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And then we got OG Bobbin saying God evening. I think he meant good evening, but hey, sure enough, I'll have a God evening if that's supposed to be good for me and for the rest of us here. Let's have a God evening here. Mario's in the chat. Mario's asking about TARS AI. I'm assuming that's a request, so let me go ahead and write that down as one of the first requests that came in. All right. So TARS AI. We haven't looked at that one in a while, but I know that one's been getting beat to shit over the last pretty much all of 2025. It got beat to shit. Pogagen is asking me about OGU. So some interesting requests here. I don't think I ever looked at that coin. I'm assuming it's a coin. There's so many of them to keep track of. But yeah, good to see you, Mario, in the chat. Good to see you. And let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll get started with well, first I'll finish up my analysis here on Bitcoin, and then we'll get started on these requests here. TARS AI and OGU coming up on deck. So I said I need to finish up the analysis here on Bitcoin, right? I mean, I pretty much gave you the upside, downside targets. You got these red lines to look for. We've been in range bound. Anytime we come down to 86,800, that's a good time to buy Bitcoin. Anytime we go up to 90,500, that's a good time to maybe sell some Bitcoin or possibly enter a short, okay, for the day traders out there. Let's look at the momentum indicators to see if we can continue on this rally here. On the market cipher B indicator here for Bitcoin, we do see that momentum is rising, and we are getting some money flow in the green here in the daily time frame. That's good to see. We were getting excited about Bitcoin when we saw money flow started curving up here, okay, and creating this higher low here on the momentum wave. All right, so we were already anticipating a potential rally here, and I think we're starting to get it here on Bitcoin. Let's see how MACD is looking like. MACD is looking fine, okay. We had the MACD crossover to the upside back here in late November, which gave us a little bit of relief here in December. Okay, then there was a little bit of questionable price action towards the middle of December here, where the selling started increasing, but then that was short-lived, and now we got another MACD crossover to the upside. So daily time frame looks fine on the momentum for a continuation of the rally. Let's look at the 3-day chart now, just to get a longer term picture view here. And on the MACD for Bitcoin, we do see that the MACD crossover to the upside. So this was another reason why I was getting excited for January here being a potential relief rally for Bitcoin and crypto. So we saw that to the upside, and when that happens, you usually get green candles, and you see the green candles are still coming in here for that MACD crossover on the 3-day. So good to see that. Market cipher B, let's take a look at market cipher B on the 3-day. Market cipher B is showing that money flow is creeping up, and you get to the higher lows here on the momentum wave. Continue, you know, with the money flow going up, and eventually you'll see the money flow go in the green, and that's going to confirm that, yeah, we are definitely getting a relief rally here on Bitcoin. Okay, does it look like that on the 5-day? Let's see what the 5-day looks like. 5-day is I mean, you do got a green buy dot, and you're trying to start turning this puppy back up to the upside, but it hasn't really done that in a convincing fashion yet. I think when we get to 95, 96K, you'll see the 5-day start creeping up on the money flow here. And then here on MACD for the 5-day chart on Bitcoin, you got selling pressure continuing dying down. You want to see that continuing dying down, frustrating the crap out of the bears, frustrating the crap out of the short sellers. And then eventually you'll eventually get this MACD crossover to the upside, which will confirm that you'll see some green buying pressure candles coming in for a nice continuation of this relief rally that we're expecting for January. Okay. Could it come to an end? I mean, nothing is solid or guaranteed. You know, it could actually come to an end where selling pressure starts dying down again, starts increasing, and we get a little bit of a fake out where the MACD kind of teases us with a crossover and then actually continues going down. So nothing is completely guaranteed, but I do like the way things are going so far with the selling pressure dying down on the 5-day MACD here. Okay, so good to see so far on the chart for Bitcoin here. Okay, let's move on to the requests here. We got a request for TARS AI. Hopefully I can still find it. Hopefully it's still trading on the exchanges here, because this thing was dropping like a rock all throughout 2025. I mean, I can't even analyze it. Like, look at this. Like, what is this? Like, the last time I traded on Bitstamp was December 15th. So like, I don't know. Is there another one here? Maybe TARS AI and MEXC. All right, a little bit better. A little bit better. All right, TARS AI on MEXC, but yeah, TARS AI has been a complete shit show since the end of December of 2024, and has a completely bad and disgusting 2025 here, where all you've been doing is dropping like a rock every week. This is the weekly chart, so this is like 1 bad week, 2 bad weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 bad weeks in April. Then we got a rise because of the whole Trump tariff pause and Liberation Day stuff. And that was the only time that we got a pump here on TARS AI. And then, you know, then we made a lower high here in May, and then you just kept on creeping on down to lower prices since then. So TARS AI, what are you doing? Is there any hope of relief here for TARS AI? I gotta get rid of some of my previous drawings here on the chart, but wow, it looks like you're getting a green week so far on TARS AI. You're up 27% for the week. Let's see what that looks like on the daily chart here. TARS AI is up 19% today, so maybe that's why you're talking about it. Maybe that's why you want to look at it. It was up 14% on Thursday here for the first day of the new year. It looks like the new year has been trying to be nice to TARS AI here. Let's see. I got someone in the chat on TikTok asking me about longing or shorting Bitcoin. Right now, I would be, if you're day trading it, maybe looking for a short, maybe, but that would have been earlier today when it was at like almost $91,000. If you're in a swing trade for Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin, you could buy it now here and sell it at like 95, 96K if the relief rally gets us up there. And then 102K would be probably a better target to squeeze out some more Bitcoin gains. But yeah, I don't, long term I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. Short term, for like tonight, we might see a sell off still. So do with that as you wish. Lewis Lesson says, do I think XRP will rise? I mean, it's gonna rise as long as Bitcoin's rising. And I see we got Road Dog Crypto in the YouTube chat. What's up, Road Dog? How you doing? I saw your live stream earlier this afternoon. Sorry I didn't make it in time. You popped that up out of nowhere. I know sometimes you do afternoon streams, but I caught that like probably after you ended the live stream there, Road Dog. And I know it's a little bit tough. From what it sounded like there was only like maybe 1 or 2 people that were in the live stream, when I know you normally get more than that. But yeah, when you do like different time slots, not your usual time slots, sometimes that does happen. But I'm sure people appreciate it. I'm sure you'll get some more views on it as people look at their YouTube app like, oh my god, Road Dog went live. Benjamin wants to take a look at Solana. Okay, so we'll write that down as a request. I think and we have another guy asking me for my prediction for XRP. Alright, so we'll take a look at XRP before Solana. I'm still working on TARS AI, and then we gotta look at OGU because those did come in before Solana and XRP. Alright, so let me get back to work here. TARS AI currently at 0.0238 pennies, right? The thing that I like to see with TARS AI is that you actually got above this 21 exponential moving average. That's the start of doing a recovery here. Okay, if we were to continue with the recovery, I would expect maybe resistance at the 50-day moving average or even the 100-day, but definitely expect resistance at the 200-day moving average, which is currently sitting at 0.052 pennies. I think I have highlighted some areas here that was supposed to be support for TARS AI, but TARS AI lost it. But like, if we do get up to like 0.048 pennies, just around like 5 pennies, I think that's going to be resistance at this point because it wasn't acting as support early in the year. Okay. I think that was because I pulled up the VRVP, and the VRVP was showing that that should have been support. Let me go ahead and pull up the VRVP indicator real quick, see what it has to say. VRVP indicator right now is saying that there is a value area low at 4 pennies. Okay, and then you kind of got some high volume here at like 6 pennies, and then you got the point of control at 8 pennies, and then if I zoom out a little bit, you'll see that we got a value area high at 12 pennies. I don't think we'll go into 12 pennies anytime soon. I think the best you can hope for is just trying to get back up to that value area low. The fact that you're below the value area low means that you're very undervalued on this asset. Doesn't mean that you're done going down, but it just means that it might be worth taking a long here just to see if it does play out for TARS AI. And you got a lot of potential gains here, just going from 2 cents where you're at right now to that value area low at 4 cents. That's like 100% gain off the top of my head. Okay, and then going up to that point of control at 8 cents would be what, a 4x on TARS AI. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think you should just be more realistic and practical and just try to target either the 50-day moving average at like 3.5 cents or target the value area low at 4 cents. I would be, if we were going to get a relief rally and this thing does start catching the bids, I would start placing some take profit at 3.5 cents and 4 cents, to be honest with you. And that's all I would do for TARS AI. And then as far as like how much lower could it go? I mean, don't go lower than what you did here on Wednesday when you were at like a 0.017 pennies. You can put your stop loss at like a penny and a half or 0.016 pennies, and hopefully it doesn't get hit. And if it doesn't get hit, that means your long is playing out. But if it does get hit, at least you're not going to avoid. I mean, at least you're not going to get yourself hurt too much here, and you're going to avoid the potential possibility that this thing might still be in a downtrend. Okay, but yeah, that's it for TARS AI. Let's move on to OGU. And guys, can you feel it? The energy in the air in my voice here. I'm excited to see that crypto's actually having a good week, a good couple of days here, because it's been rough last few weeks, few months here. OGU, is it on? I get it on Binance here. Okay. OGU. Oh my God, what the hell happened here? Is this why you're interested in OGU? Because we dropped down 36% today. Even more. Looks like the candle wick got you down as low as $5.89, and we're currently at $7.33. I don't know what happened here with OGU. Did something bad happen with the project? Because we're having like a good day and a good week for the rest of crypto here. I'm starting to wonder why OGU just decided to drop down like a rock on today, out of all days. But, you know, it's still using this VRVP indicator here for OGU. I mean, you did actually come down to like, there was some volume here on the VRVP indicator. So this was a support area at $5.70. It came down to $5.89. So yeah, we actually did come down to some support here. And there was actually some support here at $7.20 as well. So you're at the support area for OGU. Even though we kind of brutally came down, I don't know what happened to this coin or this project. But if it's not coin specific, if it just dropped down, for God knows why it dropped down, but if it dropped down because it just lost the 200-day moving average, it just lost a technical here, then I mean, I'll be looking for a long, and then put the stop loss, you know, tight, you know, below today's low if you want. And I mean, the fact that you're below the value area here. You know, the value area is this between these two white lines here. You're below the value area low. You're undervalued. I'd be looking for longs. Okay, unless there's something specific, like if like the founders just gave up on the project, if there was like a hack or something negative that happens specifically to this coin, then maybe this is the beginning of a downtrend, and this thing is going to go down to lower prices. And if it does go down to lower prices, how much lower could it go? I mean, it looks like you got some support here at like 390, 398. Yeah, now I got the point of control showing No, we'll just say the value area low here at 390, 350, somewhere around there. You got some support if it does continue to drop on you. All right, I think that's enough for OGU. Let's try to move on to XRP here. And before it gets too messy, let me just turn that VRVP off. XRP currently trading at $1.99. You wanted my predictions for the end of the month for XRP? Well, it looks like XRP is trying to get some support off the $1.80 level here. I've already highlighted that line there. If XRP continues being bullish, you know, in the near term, 204 could still be resistance, and then 220 is going to be resistance, I believe, sometime later on this month. Okay. But if it continues being more bullish, where it gets past the $2.20 level here, then I think, you know, XRP is going to get some resistance here at the $2.56 level where that 200-day moving average is at. So maybe XRP goes to 250 as your high watermark target for the month of January. And let me just turn on the VRVP indicator to see if it agrees with any of that analysis that I gave you there. So I already highlighted that 220 is going to be an interesting area for XRP to try to get past, because you got a high volume node here on the VRVP indicator. And then I did say 256 only because of the 200-day moving average. But yeah, I mean, as you get closer to 256, you got, you know, resistance from these high volume nodes here. Okay. There's like a high volume node at 251 and then another high volume at 240. Okay, so 240 and 250 probably is where XRP could top out at later on this month. Anything more than that, and you're doing really good on XRP. And you not financial advice, but if you see XRP at 250, I would start clicking that sell button. You don't sell everything, but I would consider selling something if I had XRP at 250. All right, so that's those are my upside targets for XRP. I didn't really give you downside targets. You know, if XRP is actually going to continue the downtrend that it's been in all throughout the last few months here. I'm gonna turn that VRB indicator one more time, and this is data going all the way back to like July of 2024. And there's still some high volume nodes to the downside where XRP could come down to like $1.50. I've been saying that for a while here on my live streams, but you know, just to reiterate, I think XRP could go to $1.50 if it loses $1.80. Okay, and if we lose $1.50, then we could probably come down to $1.12. There's some more support there at $1.12. Okay, so those are your downside targets for XRP. Could it do that this month? I don't think XRP is going to go to $1.12 by the end of this month, but if we're going to be bearish for whatever reason, I think we could hit $1.50 on XRP at the end of the month if we are going to be bearish. So that's your downside target for XRP. All right, do I think XRP will rise? I think, like I said, I think it will rise with Bitcoin. It will fall with Bitcoin if Bitcoin decides to crash on us. All righty. Mario, was that you the one that requested OGU? No, somebody else did. But let's see, Mario, did you even put a request in, Mario? I don't think you did. But Mario just said thanks anyways. You're welcome. All right, let's move on to Solana as one of the other requests here. We got Solana currently trading at $131.74. Let me just zoom in on the chat here. Solana has been in a downtrend highlighted by this yellow line that I drew. Okay, but it got out of the downtrend just by going sideways, and that was good enough. It wasn't spectacular, but it was just good enough to get yourself out of that downtrend. And then the next best thing that Solana did recently here was get above this 21 EMA, which has acted as resistance before. Now, you know, don't get too excited because we have been above the 21 EMA early in December here, only for us to go below the 21 EMA. But I want to see Solana continue with this momentum and stay above the 21 EMA. The 21 EMA is now low enough. It's sitting at $125.49. Don't go any lower than that, please. And we could continue seeing more money going into Solana and seeing higher prices here for Solana. Now, looking at the daily MACD here for Solana, you did get a MACD crossover to the upside around Christmas time. So that was the beginning of like, hey guys, there might be some good stuff going on for Solana in the next few days. And of course, that MACD crossover did show some good stuff here for Solana because you got some green buying pressure candles showing up. Whenever I see that MACD crossover to the upside, I'm expecting green buying pressure candles to show up, and that did show up here on the daily time frame MACD for Solana. And had you paid attention to the MACD crossover around Christmas time, you would have been the benefactor, where you could have bought Solana at like 120, 125 bucks. But right now it's at 131 bucks. So yeah, MACD crossover kind of matters if you're paying attention to it. And then of course here on Market Cipher B, you got momentum going up to the upside. You got money flow, which was in the negative throughout December, is now showing green for January. So there could be some more upside price action for Solana here. And then of course you got the green buy dot that came in near the oversold horizontal green bars over here. I think Solana wants to go up, not down, according to the daily time frame here. Now let's see if the longer term time frames agree with that. 3-day time frame, got a green buy dot here towards Christmas time, and money flow is starting to creep up. Momentum's starting to creep up. Money flow isn't in the green yet, but if money flow goes in the green, then I'm expecting probably Solana to be at least 150 or higher. But let's try to figure out what the upside targets might be for Solana, since it looks like Solana might be done going down for now. Okay, upside targets, at least on the let's see, let's go back to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, upside target using moving averages here, you got 161 bucks could be where Solana decides to take a breather. So I think we might have a 30% gain. I mean, not 30, a $30 gain from where we are right now, going from 131 to like maybe 161 based off this 50-day moving average. Well, let me go ahead and turn on the VRVP indicator to see what VRVP indicator has to say. And this is the visual range volume profile indicator. To the upside, there could be some resistance at 152 to like 168, which makes sense because that's where the 50-day moving average will probably intersect and probably knock the price down initially. So I'm thinking like, you know, taking some profit here between 150 to like $168. Because you know what? The reason for that being is that the people who bought Solana here in November, the first week of November, they thought they were buying a dip only for Solana to continue dipping down on them. So whoever here is not in it for the long term. When Solana actually gets up to like 160 bucks, they're probably gonna click the sell button just to break even and get out. Okay. So yeah, that's what I see here for Solana for upside targets. 150, 160. Maybe we might see that by the end of January, and then we'll just have to see how things are towards the end of January. See if it's going to continue going up to higher prices. Let's see. Road Dog says your stream got cut out on you. Don't know why. Didn't have a lot of people, or you would have came back. Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you were. It seemed Road Dog. Are you still in the chat? You were about to show something pretty important. And then it just cut off, and I was like, man, is someone messing with Road Dog's live stream? Like you were about to show people, I believe like your Telegram or something, and then so as soon as it showed that, it just cut off on you. So I don't know, is YouTube trying to censor you for showing Telegram, or is someone trying to stop you from showing people how to connect with you when you're not live streaming? I don't know. But I was like, damn. That sucks. All right. JP wants to look at Chainlink. And then Harvey says you hate that we're pumping going into the weekend. Why not? The pump means we could probably keep on pumping, because if you notice, I noticed this with Bitcoin and Wall Street. Wall Street always sells Bitcoin in the morning, and they tried doing that this morning, and they actually failed. Because I feel like everybody finally figured out Wall Street's playbook, where they sell Bitcoin in the morning, and that's the time to buy the dip, and then Bitcoin creeps up to higher prices in the afternoon going into the evening. So we had that going on with Bitcoin. Let me just show you the 1 hour chart here for Bitcoin. Yeah, maybe I might want to do the 15-minute chart to make it more obvious. Okay. But yeah, you can see earlier this morning, right? You know, around like 9 o'clock in the morning when Wall Street shows up to do business here, they decided to dump us. They almost took out my stop loss. I had a stop loss at 88,300. They took it down to 8,375 here on Coinbase Exchange. I almost got stopped out. But my take profit was at 90K, and literally like 30 minutes later or 40, like towards the end of the hour, they brought Bitcoin back up to like 90,100, and I was able to take profit at 90K because I was one of my targets. Okay, and then of course Bitcoin continued on here to 91K, almost 91K, 90,900 here. But yeah, I think people are figuring out Wall Street and the BS that they're up to, and people bought the dip. They're like, okay, Wall Street wants to sell us cheap Bitcoin, we'll take that, and they ran with it. All right, let's take a look at Chainlink now for my buddy JP over here. I'm pretty sure I have Chainlink here. Yep, there it is on my watch list. Let me get into the daily. I'm getting into the daily time frame unless you want me to look at the smaller time frames here. Just let me know if you do want to look at the smaller time frame. On the smaller time frames, I could probably look at the 1 hour chart or the 15-minute chart if you want to look at small time frames here. But anyways, Chainlink currently trading at $13.27, up 5.4% today. Having a nice decent day, and also had a nice decent Thursday as well, up 3.38%. Chainlink doing what it needs to do to start becoming bullish here, or start giving us some hope. You got above the 21 EMA, which has acted as resistance plenty of times here, you know, ever since like September, October, even here in November. It got rejected by the 21 EMA. You got above the 21 EMA. Now, don't get too excited. We have to stay above the 21 EMA because we did get above the 21 EMA back here in December for Chainlink, okay? And then we lost it in the middle of December, okay? So I don't want to see that for Chainlink. I want to see Chainlink actually get above, stay above. Actually, I would like to see Chainlink get above right over here, because I feel like these people, they might be a little bit hurting right now because of Chainlink. They thought they were buying the dip on Chainlink, and then Chainlink decided to drop down on them some more. But if Chainlink continues to be bullish and gets past this area here at like 14 bucks, then we got the 50-day moving average at 1577, could act as resistance. And then we got the 200-day moving average that will most likely act as resistance at $17.55 here. Now let me go ahead and turn the VRVP indicator to find out the levels above us to look out for. And yeah, the VRVP indicator is showing that there's some high volume here at 1450. I already said like 1450 or 14 is where we got to get up to. And then of course, a little bit of volume here next to that 50-day moving average. So maybe like 16 bucks, 1577. Should maybe put a take profit target at that area. And then we got the value area high at 1750, which is confluent with the 200-day moving average. So those are your targets there. First target would be 1450. Second target about $16, and then third take profit target would be about 1750 for Chainlink here. All right, we got Bill in the chat asking for space stock. I think that's not SpaceX, but jeez, you know, I'll type it in, but I know it's one of those companies. SpaceX, I don't think is even public yet. They're trying to go public. I think Space is supposed to be the company for Virgin. Is that Virgin Galactic, I believe? The space tourism company. Matty Ghost is in and says he wants to look at Piverse. Okay, so we'll look at Piverse after Space, because I actually want to see what Space is up to. Alright. Alrighty, let's continue on to Space here. Bill, are you still in the chat? Oh wait, well, I put an A in there when there is no A. Ticker symbols SPCE, right? Virgin Galactic, yeah, that's what I remember. I actually bought Virgin Galactic when it IPO'd a few years ago. I think it was like 2018 or something like that. I guess that's like almost 8 years ago now. Alright. I actually want to take a look at this on the monthly chart. See, when did space first come out? Oh my god. Damn, did they have a stock split? This thing started trading back in 2017. Has seen higher prices. Yeah, this thing definitely had a stock split. Because this thing is showing that got up to like 1,200 bucks. And now we're at $3. Yeah, I don't think it ever got to 1,200 bucks. I just think that's what they had to do with the stock split here. But this thing seems like it's just not making any money for anybody here. I'm looking at the monthly chart here on space. Let me just go ahead and just reset this. All right, but let's look at the daily chart for space. I'm gonna get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. All right, so space. You're below all the moving averages, the 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, and the 21 EMA. That's very bearish to be seeing something like that. Okay. If you get above the moving averages, then you'd be bullish again, right? I want to see you get at least above the 200-day moving average, because anytime you're below the 200-day moving average, you're in a bear market, in my opinion. Okay. That's my rule. Right, and this thing has been below the 200-day moving average for a long time. Okay, this looks like even worse than crypto. Some of these altcoins out there being below that red line there. Okay, so I'm just trying to give some context here. Oh, this thing is trying to, I guess, catch some bids here. It looks like we got some earnings reports that did come in the green. So, are they actually starting to make some money here? Well, not really. They're still losing money, but not as much as they thought they were going to lose. We had an earnings report here back in February of 2025 where they were expecting to lose $3 per share. They only lost $2.50, so that was a beat. The most recent earnings report was here in November of 2025. They're expecting to lose $1.43 per share. They only lost $1. So hey, you know, they're not losing as much as they thought they were going to lose, but they're still losing money, but just not as much. All right. So that gives you an idea as like why this company has gotten beaten down. Their stock has gotten beaten down, but yet it's showing that the stock is trying to climb. And what do we got here? I mean, I don't know if I want to do a trend. Like, you can understand that this thing has already been in a downtrend. Like, they've got lower high here, lower high, possibly another lower high here. However, you're making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. People are stepping in to buy the stock. Why though? Why? If this company's losing money, why? Because they're not losing as much as they used to. Let's turn on the VRVP indicators, figure out what levels to look out for if this thing does continue to climb up. You got some high volume here at 377 and some more high volume here at 411. Should be areas to take profit if you're short-term trading this. And then, of course, if you're in it for the long term, maybe you could probably take some profit at 468 where your value area high is sitting at. And then after that, it could be off to the races for Virgin Galactic. Maybe it will start to rocket up higher if they can start earning some money here. Let's see what it looks like with the RSI here. RSI. Do or die. I don't know. RSI showing higher lows here. That's good to see. Continue doing that, and this thing will eventually go to higher prices as long as it's making higher lows on the RSI here. I don't really know if there's not much for me to analyze besides that here. Let me see downside targets. Downside targets, if you were to go down to lower prices here, you got a value area low sitting at 292, which is acted as like a bottom here in August. And yeah, I think 292 should be where you put a stop loss for now if you're getting in right now on Virgin Galactic. Because if you go lower than the value area low, you don't have that much more room to go before you stop going to the lowest point that you ever been, which is like April 7th. This thing was at $2.18. So I don't know if you really want to buy now at 330 just to see this thing go down to 218. I would probably put the stop loss at 290 for now. But yeah, those are your downside targets for space. Let's move on to Piverse. Maybe I'll make a TikTok or a YouTube short on space because I haven't covered that one. I'm pretty sure there might be some stock market guys that might want to know. Did anything good? Any good news come out for space? Are they getting more customers? Are they stopping the bleeding on their expenses? Please tell me in the chat. Let me know. Guapo E Rico asked me, where's Bitcoin going right now? Or going... Well, right now, I think Bitcoin might sell off after having a pretty good afternoon here. But I think long term, we'll probably see Bitcoin go into 90K again, and then maybe up to like 95, 96K later on this month. All right, but anyways, we're looking at Piverse right now. Piverse is currently trading at 88 cents, up 73% today. What the hell? You're having a good day. If you're in this crypto here, you're having a good day. This thing started trading on MEXC exchange on November 14th. And it's been going up and to the right. That's interesting. Even though like most cryptocurrencies have been bleeding off, this thing has been actually been bullish, right? If I get rid of the VRVP for now, I mean that's bullish. You're going up and to the right. Up and to the right. That's good. Making higher lows, higher low, higher low. I never heard of this one. It's on MEXC exchange. We got as high as like $1.02 on December 7th. And then today we got as high as like 94 cents. So I do want to see this thing continue making higher highs. I don't want to see this end up being a lower high as of now. This is suspicious. Okay. You are making a lower high as of now. All right. You could fix that by tomorrow going up to higher highs possibly to continue the bullish momentum. But just know, like, you did make a lower high. So, I mean, you got to be careful with this one, okay? For now. It could always change later on today, tomorrow, next week. Let's see can it continue this bullish momentum? Let's look at the momentum indicators here on the daily time frame. On the MACD, interestingly enough, it was showing selling pressure, and selling pressure has died down, and now you have green buying pressure candles here on the daily time frame. And MACD, you got a MACD crossover to the upside on December 28th, and you threatened to lose the MACD crossover, but you didn't here on Thursday. Yesterday? So interesting. It might be able to continue the momentum. I want to see what it looks like on the 4-hour chart. Maybe the 4-hour chart has some better information for us. 4-hour chart is showing selling pressure dying down, then buying pressure coming in. You got the MACD crossover on the 4-hour to the upside. So I think this thing could actually continue going to higher prices later on tonight, going into tomorrow. And then let's see, market cipher B on the 4-hour chart. Money flows in the green. You got the flip or the crossover on the money flow to the upside. So this is good to see. This thing could continue to go to higher prices here. Let's look at the daily time frame on the market cipher B. And your money flows in the green, and you actually had a green buy dot today. Wow. Okay. So maybe this thing is not done going up yet. It might continue to go up from what I'm seeing on the momentum indicators on the daily and the 4-hour. Maddie Ghost says you caught it on 19x leverage, that and River. Wow, Maddie, it seems like you're having a good week with your leverage longs there. Congratulations. Are you in the trading group the Meet Damien Discord channel. You can share your trading knowledge and setups there. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick here. Oh, where is the Discord? Oh no. Well, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Oh no, where's my Discord? I'm not logged in. Damn it. Let's see, log in. Oh, whoa, where we go here? I got some stuff going on here. I gotta make sure. Oh, I don't want to put in the password yet. So, alright. But anyways, you should try to join the Meet Damien Discord. It's a free Discord to join. It doesn't cost you anything. I was going to try to show you what it looks like here, but I'm not logged in. I can try to show it to my TikTok guys. You can see that right there, right? Okay. Meet Damien Discord is free to join, but since you're on YouTube, the link should be in this live stream that you're watching to join the Meet Damien Discord. But if you don't find it there, then it should actually be in the description to my channel. Where did I put it? Yeah, there you go. This is a Discord link right there. All right, come join us here on the Meet Damien Discord. Yeah, I mean, we could be your first trading group on the Meet Damien Discord. Let me see if I can pull up here on you know, for you on YouTube. Every time I do this, it always ends up screwing up the live stream. I'm gonna try to pull up here so you can actually see what it looks like on YouTube. And I gotta do this, and then I gotta. Yeah, see, it's not even showing up here. Damn it. But yeah, trust me. You go on there, log in. And then for my TikTok guys, you can also get onto the Meet Damien Discord by just going onto the bio to my my TikTok channel and clicking that link, and you can join the Discord channel for free. Let me see. Do I still got 5,993 followers? I think I might have hit 6,000 followers here on TikTok. Let's see. Ooh, we're just a couple of short on 6,000 here for TikTok. I'm going to need you guys to help me out here by following me here on TikTok if you haven't done so already. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Guapo did ask for Bitcoin, and then Raphael wants me to take a look at NBIS. Let me just adjust the camera here. NBIS. I'm assuming that's a crypto. Unless this is stock, let me know. And thank you, Rec, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. We gotta look at NBIS. Nebius Group on the NASDAQ. All right, we got another stock to look at here. Nebius up 7% today, and it actually hit 90 bucks in the aftermarket, post-market hours here. So that's cool. That's cool. Nebius, what have you done? What could you do next? We've seen this thing top out here on October 10th at like $141. Making lower highs, lower low, lower, you know, lower lows, lower highs here. So you're in a downtrend on Nebius. But it looks like it kind of caught some support off the 100-day moving average. That's good to see here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the VRVP indicator for now. Let's see what we got here for Nebius. High volume node, currently where we're at, around like 90 bucks. If we were to lose that 100-day moving average, we could get some support at about 70 bucks here, which is close to this 200-day moving average. So I would think support's going to be between 67 and 70 bucks here, if it does drop down that low. And then let's see, to the upside, we got value area high at $100. If you get past $100, then there should be more resistance at $114. Okay, those are your upside targets. 100 and 114. Let's see what it could do here with the momentum indicators. Is it going to continue going down or go up here? Just to get an idea with the momentum. On market cipher B, you got a green buy dot today, and money flow is in the green now after being in the red through December. I think this thing wants to continue going up based on market cipher B daily time frame here. And then let's see, we got to take a look at the MACD here. MACD, you had your MACD crossover to the upside on December 22nd. And when you get those crossovers, you usually get the green buying pressure candle showing up, and you got that. Okay. However, buying pressure started dying down towards the end, the last week of December here. But now you're getting green buying pressure showing up again, so that's interesting. You know, continue doing that, and you can continue going to higher prices for Nebius. But be a little bit wary because you were showing buying pressure dying down here, so maybe it does actually want to start leveling off. Maybe it might trade sideways here for a little bit, and I think the reason why it would trade sideways is because I think maybe when we get up to this 50-day moving average, that could act as resistance where we go sideways. Maybe we push up to $100, but then come back to the 50-day moving average. But this thing, I think it wants to go up rather than go down based on the momentum indicators. Matty Ghost is asking me, is SUI a buy? All right, let me go ahead and write that one down. If you guys keep giving me these requests, you're going to keep me busy. I usually try to go live for like 2 hours from like 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time is when I normally go live. But I'm going to try to end the live stream at 6 p.m. Because I do have some other things I need to do today. Alright, so we got to look at SUI, and then what else? TRB is another request. Okay. I'm actually in a Zcash long. I'm a little bit curious how Zcash is doing right now. Let me just look at that in the corner of my eye here. Alright, kind of like right where I bought it at for the most part. If you guys are looking for a cryptocurrency to trade, a cryptocurrency exchange to trade on, I would suggest you check out WEEX exchange here. Let's see. Right now, WEEX is doing some promotions here. I'm just waiting for this thing to load up here, but yeah, that's the Bitcoin chart here. I do like trading on WEEX. I already made some money on a Bitcoin long, and I made some money on a Bitcoin Cash long. Right now, I'm in an Ethereum long. This is kind of like a small position, but the position that I'm really paying attention to is Zcash. I got in at 486, and right now we're at 484. My stop loss is at 480, and the take profits at 515. If that works out for me, you know, if we can get up to 515. All right, if I get up to like 515, I'll be able to make $141 and be up 116%. And my stop loss, I will lose $33 on this trade if I'm wrong, and be down 27%. Cool. But yeah, WEEX exchange. They do got some promotions here. Let me see if I can pull up the promotions that they had. Like they might have changed the promotions here. Oh, you know, new user rewards here. They do have like up to $30,000 of bonuses here on WEEX exchange. I've already been taking advantage of them, where you know, you put like, you know, $3,000 into WEEX exchange and just leave it on the exchange for a little bit. And if you hold it, you'll get like a $2,000 airdrop. And it says 20x leverage. So basically what they'll do is, you know, they'll probably give me like $100 of margin with 20x leverage, and I can get a free position to trade. And usually they let me trade Ethereum, whether I want to do long or short. So that's a pretty cool thing here that they got going on here. I've already taken advantage of like some of the other airdrops that they got, where where you put 500 bucks and they'll give you like a $400 airdrop. If you put in like $1,000 here for 3 days, you got like a $500 airdrop. And if you guys want to join the WEEX cryptocurrency exchange, I do have the link here for my TikTok. It's right there to join WEEX exchange. Make sure you put that VIP code in there, XVDP. I do get a referral bonus for referring you guys, so I appreciate if you do that. And also for my YouTube guys, I mean, you got it right there on the screen. It says my WEEX code's right there, XVDP, to start trading on WEEX cryptocurrency exchange. And I like using WEEX because besides having a pretty good trading platform and trading any kind of cryptocurrency you want to trade on, it's very easy to join. All you got to do is put an email in there. And they don't do KYC unless you want to, okay? And you just get started really quick and easy with WEEX here. And they got those bonuses, so like, why not? Anyways, I do gotta look at some cryptocurrencies here for you guys. You want to take a look at SUI and TRB? All right, let's get back to TradingView here. We'll take a look at SUI. SUI having a decent day here, up 11%. Nice, man. I wish I was actually trying to long SUI at like $1.40 a few days ago, and then I got stopped out at like $1.38. I think, yeah, I was around New Year's Eve. I was trying to get in at $1.40 on SUI, and I got stopped out because I had my stop loss at like $1.39 or $1.38 or something like that. I kept it really tight. I do like my stop losses to be tight, and I got stopped out. And if I had the stop loss a little bit looser, or if I just re-entered the trade, I would have been able to benefit from all these gains here. But whatever. Okay. SUI, you're doing good, getting above the 21 EMA. That's good to see. Okay. And could you do better? Yeah, you probably could do better. All you gotta do is try to get up to this 50-day moving average sitting at $2.10. I actually have some SUI spot bags. I might sell some of my SUI spot bags when it gets up to $2. That'd be very nice to get off easy with $2 SUI here. Well, let's see. Levels to look out for using the VRVP indicator here. There's a high volume node here at $2. So yeah, definitely $2 I would say get out. Or consider clicking the sell button. I know I'm going to get out. Because you just don't know if we're going to get rejected off the 50-day moving average and make a lower high and come down to lower prices. Right now, the people that bought here in November at $2, they thought they were catching a dip on SUI, only for the dip to keep on dipping on them. So when we get back up to $2, I feel like these people are going to click the sell button just to break even and maybe try to get in at a lower price, or maybe they try their luck somewhere else. But yeah, I would be looking for $2. It's right there in the VRVP indicator, and 210 is the 50-day moving average, so that would be the target for SUI to the upside. Now to the downside, you got the point of control at $1.53. Hopefully that acts as support and we can stay above the 21 EMA here. But if it doesn't, and we actually do come down, you do got the value low saying $1.31 should be support until it's not. And then if it loses $1.31, you probably want to get out of SUI altogether. So I could probably put my stop loss at $1.31. And if SUI's going to continue climbing up to $2, I can walk my stop loss. Maybe bring my stop loss up to $1.50 here, as SUI starts climbing up to like $1.80, $1.90, $2. And then I probably should take profit at $2. So I said that speaking for myself. You guys can do whatever you want with your own money, but that's what I would plan on doing with my SUI spot bags. Is putting the stop loss at $1.30, walking it up to $1.50 as we climb higher, and then taking profit at $2.10. Looks like we got another request here for NVAX. Is that NVAX or are you trying to say AVAX? I'm gonna write it down as NVAX for now, but I know there is a an AVAX. All right. moving on from NVAC, I mean not NVAC, moving on from SUI. Let's take a look at TRB. TRB Teller currently trading at $21.72. This thing is getting above this 21 EMA. That's good to see here. But you've been in a downtrend. We have gone up above the 21 EMA only for us to lose this. So I wouldn't really get too excited just yet. I want to come down to the 21 EMA and use it as support. 21 EMA is at $19.89. Don't lose that support area, or else this is just be another fake out for us to go down to lower prices again. But if we don't go down to lower prices, I think we could get rejected at this 50-day moving average at 24.28. That's probably the first take profit target if I'm day trading this. If I'm in it for a swing trade, I might be able to take this further up to the 100-day moving average at 28 bucks. And I think 28 bucks is, yeah, that's like the highs here for a lot of these candles here back in October and November. So after 24 bucks, then comes 28. That's what I'd be looking for upside targets on Teller, TRB. Let's see what the VRVP indicator has to say. It's probably going to say the same thing. VRVP is saying that the point of control, the majority of the people that bought and sold TRB, they bought it at $26. So yeah, when you get to like $26, I said 28, but like that was just from eyeballing it and also looking at the 100-day moving average. But I think by the time the price climbs up and gets to the POC, this 100-day moving average is probably going to be here at you know, at 26 bucks, and I think that's where you're going to want to get out. I'm getting a phone call here. Let's see. I don't know who was trying to call me there. But they could always just leave a text. They could send me a text or whatever. All right, ABD Zidon, thank you for following me here on TikTok. And what do we got? What do we got here? So I gave you the upside targets here for Teller. If Teller is going to be bullish, you know, I would expect a lot of resistance at 26 bucks here. Downside target going to probably be the value area low at 19 bucks here. Yeah, $19 is your you know, don't lose that, or else, you know, it could get really bad and ugly for TRB here. All right, the lowest point so far was like 1761. You know, maybe you put a stop loss at 1760, but if you lose 1760, this thing probably is not done going down yet. Oh, cool, Maddie. I look forward to seeing you on Discord. I'll probably try to say hi to you once I see you on there. But you said that you're you just gave me your screen name there. All right, I'll be on the lookout for that. All righty. So that's TRB in a nutshell. Let's move on to NVAX here. Novavax? Is that what we're asking for? You said, is NVAX gonna go to 30? Well, right now it's trading at 7 bucks here. Were you talking about NVAX, or did you misspell, and were you looking for AVAX? Because I don't know if NVAX is gonna go to 30 bucks anytime soon here. Let's see. The highest point that it got up to was like back here in June of 2024. It got up to like 23 bucks. So I don't know why you got 30 as a number here, unless you gave me the wrong thing to look at. So I would say no, NVAX is not going to go to 30 bucks anytime soon here. But let's see if you meant to say AVAX, which is a cryptocurrency that I know of. similar spelling, just off by one letter here. AVAX did in September go up to $36. Will AVAX actually go up to $36 again? Yeah, if Bitcoin hits new all-time highs, I would say so. But you got resistance here at the 200-day moving average at $20.74, and then you got the 50-day moving average that could act as resistance at $17.89. And if I turn the VRVP indicator here for AVAX, the value area high is at 24 bucks, which is like where a lot of people were buying and selling this at, like in July and August. So I think 24 bucks is as most as you're gonna get, which is, I don't know, that's kind of close to 30. You were asking about 30. I think $24 is where AVAX is gonna have a hard time getting past. And if it does, you know, it will probably launch up to 30 bucks in no time, but it's got to get past $24 first, according to the VRVP indicator here. Thank you, ABDZDon, for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Okay. And I think that's it for requests here. Matty Ghost has a long. You got a 12x long. And Riza has asked me, is now the time to short or long? Oh my god. Longing and shorting should not be based on time, okay? It should be based on levels. And I don't even know what you're trying to long or short. What asset are we talking about? Are we talking about Bitcoin? Crypto in general? The stock market? Ethereum or Solana? Like, you got to tell me, like, what do you want to long or short? Let me get into the 4-hour chart here for Bitcoin. If you're talking about Bitcoin and whether we should long or short, let me get rid of the VRVP indicator because I already got the levels marked off. But if you think Bitcoin's going to stay in this range anywhere between 86K to like 90K, then right now is a good time to short. Okay, shorting Bitcoin. If you think Bitcoin's not going to get up to like 91 or 92K, you could probably put your stop loss at like 91K or 92K, and that's relatively tight. And then if you're shorting Bitcoin because you think it's going to go down to 87, 86K again, then you'll make money on your short. So you got to be looking for levels, not time. Right now, we're at a level where a short makes sense for Bitcoin, okay? But you could get stopped out. You could get stopped out, right? Because you got to figure out the momentum. Are we going to continue going up? Like we're up right now, but are we going to continue going up and then stop you out on your short? On the 4-hour time frame, there's nothing here that says Bitcoin's overbought yet until you get up to that red horizontal bar, the RSI bars here. This would be overbought for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin can stay overbought on the 4-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame? Yeah, 1-hour time frame is giving you top signals here, saying that Bitcoin is overbought. Okay, and money flow is starting to go down a little bit here. All right, but the thing is, money flow could start increasing again. So this gives you an idea as like what the trend could possibly be. Now, if you're day trading it, and I'm assuming you're day trading it, then you know I usually start with the 1-hour time frame, but I'll go into the 15-minute time frame to find out what could happen in the next couple of hours, next few hours here. And right now we had a green buy dot about an hour ago, and money flow starting to increase, and money flow going into green. I think Bitcoin wants to go at higher prices. We might see, you know, maybe $91,000 later on tonight, and then that would be probably a good time to short. If you're asking about timing, maybe you might have to wait until later on tonight to short Bitcoin. Probably when everybody in America goes to sleep and the Americans are done buying Bitcoin, then you could try to short Bitcoin when there's no more buying pressure because everybody's sleeping in America. Just an idea. But I would probably wait till later on tonight to try and short. To try and long, I mean, you're hoping that you could buy now at 90K and sell it at 91, 92K. So I wouldn't really be looking for a long on Bitcoin right now. I'd probably be looking for longs. I mean, I look for longs on assets that got beat up already that are in crypto that could get, you know, a better day tomorrow. Like Zcash, I think might be worth getting into a long right now. Okay. I had a guy in my Discord was thinking like, "Oh, Damon, why are you trying to long Zcash?" I just went into a short on Zcash, and shorting Zcash would make sense if it was like around here at like 5:30 earlier last night. You know, going to early this morning. But here in the 15-minute time frame, there is you know, on Zcash, the RSI is showing higher lows here. Okay. Also on the 15-minute time frame, you got a MACD crossover to the upside. Okay, and green buying pressure candle is showing up here. So I think Zcash is done going down for now. Which, you know, so far on the chart, it looks like it's done going down. Okay. And then if I get into the 1 hour time frame here, you can see that selling pressure on the MACD is dying off here on Zcash, and you're getting the blue line curving up, which could mean that we could get a MACD crossover later on tonight, which will show green buying pressure candles. I think Zcash is going to have a good night tonight, going into tomorrow morning. Okay, based on what I'm seeing on the charts here and the momentum indicators. We got a green buy dot here in the 1 hour time frame for Zcash, and money flow is it's not going down. It looks like it's starting to go back up a little bit here. So I think Zcash could be good for a long. If you want to come join me, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm long in Zcash on WEEX here. And let's see, am I still down? Yeah, maybe I could have got into a better price here on Zcash, but I am in a 20x long here on Zcash on WEEX. Okay. And I think WEEX is it's gonna have a better night later on tonight, based on what I'm seeing here. Oh, you could actually get into Zcash right now. It looks like we have on the 1 minute time frame potential. This could be a potential higher low here. Let's see. Let's get back in the 5 minute time frame on Zcash. Yeah, you know, I got in probably a little bit too early on the Zcash long, but I got my stop loss at 480. So if I'm wrong, you know, I won't be wrong too much. But if I'm right, you know, I think Zcash could get back up to 515 here. And that's where I want to take profit, because, you know, we had some sideways trading action around that level there. And we even got above it not too long ago. Okay. Like around yesterday. Actually, no, early this morning we were at like 520. We're at like 5, yeah. Early this afternoon, actually. So I think Zcash had a small pullback, and I think Zcash could be good for a long. Take you up to 515 here. Alrighty, that's Zcash in a nutshell. Or at least the reason why I got into was Zcash long. Your long injective, INJ. Alright, so that's what I need. When you say like, hey, long or short, you gotta tell me what asset you're trying to long or short. And you said you're a long on Injective. Looks like Injective's doing alright. When did you long it? What price did you get in on your long? I'm looking at the 1 hour time frame. It looks like Injective's having a good day. You're up like 7.7% today on Injective. Daily time frame Injective. I mean, it was in a downtrend, but like looks like, you know, along with all the rest of these other cryptocurrencies, we're actually getting a couple of good days here to start the new year. Injective was up 8% yesterday, and now it's up 7% today. I think if you're trying to be in a swing trade leverage long here, you should target $6.15 here. Let's see, VRVP, what does VRVP says? There's a high volume node here at 660. But the reason why I did 615 as an idea here on Injective is because we did have some candle wick highs here, some candle closes here, some support here, candle wick closes, I mean candle wick bottoms, and then also more candle wicks here. So I think 615 should be an area to consider selling, taking profit on your long for injective here. I think that's gonna be it for this live stream here, guys. We talked about Bitcoin, we talked about cryptos, talked about my link for WEEX. You can join WEEX exchange, start trading crypto futures. Easy to get started on WEEX. This is where I do my day trading at on WEEX. I also got MEXC as well. That's another link if you want to do MEXC. But MEXC, you need like a VPN, and you know, sometimes you need a VPN depending upon what country you're in. And then also they might want you to do KYC. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, I actually do trade on MEXC as well, which looks like this. Okay, that's MEXC exchange right there. But if you want to join those links here, the links to join should be on my TikTok bio. Link to join WEEX is right there. Okay. Make sure you get that VIP code XVDP, or else I don't get the referral, and then that kind of sucks because like you're trading, and I was the one that told you about it. But it's okay. It's whatever. But yeah. The code to join WEEX, make sure you put that XVDP in there. All right. And my YouTube guys, you got that right there on your channel. It says WEEX in that yellow banner to the bottom left. Referral code XVDP to get started on WEEX. And then I also do have a Discord channel that shows you the rest of my referral links here. Let me see if I can show it up to my TikTok guys. But yeah. There's the link to join MEXC right there is in my Meet Damien Discord. And then there's a link for WEEX as well. I even got one for Coinbase and Kraken as well. And if you want to get a discount on TradingView, I got a discount code right there for TradingView. And I wish I could show this to my my YouTube guys, but I'm not able to. Unless I sign in, but I don't want to do that on stream right now. So yeah, that's going to be it to this live stream, guys. Hopefully you guys made some gains here. I think we could see a pretty good weekend here for crypto and Bitcoin, because Wall Street's not around to click the sell button on us like they tried to do this morning. And then we knew their playbook, and we bought the dip anyways. So now they're stuck, you know, selling the lows for the day. But that's on them for not having faith and conviction in Bitcoin here. I think Bitcoin might be on its way to like 95k, 96k. That might be next week. I don't think that's going to happen this week, but I'll be pleasantly surprised if Bitcoin goes to 95k, 96k this weekend. But I think that might be for next week. But then we're going to get some economic news next week, so that maybe that might be when the rally takes a chill pill, because we're going to have to digest, you know, what the jobs numbers are for the month of December, and that comes out next Friday, I believe. Yeah. So stay tuned. Come join my live streams. Check out my YouTube shorts and my TikToks. Okay, for my TikTok guys. And we'll plan on doing this again next Monday at 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, guys. Okay. Take care. Good luck trading in whatever asset you decide to get into, stocks, cryptos, commodities, gold, silver, whatever you decide to do. Good luck on your trades there, guys.